Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, I'm showing you guys a little secret grunt on Cairo Station during the intro cutscene in Halo 2. So, during this part, well actually during any part of the intro cutscene where we see Lord Hood and Chief and Johnson, there is actually a little bit of an interesting thing hidden outside of this area. So, let's go to the free camera mode and well, first, let me just show you guys around this room. It's actually a very interesting area because we never actually see this in gameplay, only in cutscenes. I mean, it's not really much else in there, but we rarely get to see the whole thing. But if we fly outside this room over to where the Inarmored Clad is docked, this area, there is a random floating grunt outside of the map during the cutscene. And that grunt is just right here. And it's always there during the whole cutscene. But it's only there when we see Lord Hood and Chief and Johnson, when that whole bridge or whatever part of the station is, it's loaded in. And this grunt, it's a little bit different than the secret hat that we also see in the intro cutscene. That hat that I showed you in my previous video, you can actually see that during the cutscene in a normal playthrough. You don't need to fly around to see it. I mean, granted, it's very hard to see because it's very tiny, and you need like a high resolution to see it. But this grunt, you can't see it during any part of the cutscene, but it is still there, and it's actually interesting why it's out here. So, it's not an Easter egg or anything. It's actually more of an oversight by Bungie. So, let me explain what the grunt really is. So, that grunt, you do actually see during normal gameplay. In fact, you see during this part of the mission Cairo Station, when you're about to go out into space. This is where the docks are. This is where the Inarmored Clad is docked. And when you come over here to this room, this grunt here, that's in this airlock, that is the grunt that we see floating during the cutscene. So, what is it then? I mean, like, why is the grunt there? So, I mean, the grunt is part of this area. It's supposed to be like a dead grunt that supposedly, died fighting the UNSC. But why is it just floating out there during the cutscene? Well, that's where the oversight part comes in. So, the way Bungie works with Halo games is that they place everything on the map. Like, everything is already pre-placed, but it's not always spawned in. And that's to save resources, obviously, because if you have everything spawned in at once, then that takes more system resources, especially like back in the day when resources were more limited. You don't want to do that. So things like that marine body there and all the weapons like the SMG, the plasma pistol, the grenades on the ground, those are all pre-placed. They're already there, but they're set to not be spawned until the game needs it to be spawned. So that's why during that cutscene, there's nothing there. Nothing else is out here during that cutscene, as you saw. It's just an empty area except for the grunt. So everything is disabled from spawning in until the game needs it. But for some reason, Bungie missed the grunt. They forgot to disable the grunt from spawning in, and that is why that grunt is just floating out there, because it's always spawned in. It's not supposed to always be spawned in. It's only supposed to be spawned in when you get to that dock area, to the airlock. But Bungie forgot, and that's why it's just floating out there. But no one will ever notice it, because it's not, that grunt doesn't get like touched by anything, so it doesn't like fall to the ground or anything. It's always floating there, and it's still there when the rest of the map is spawned in. So that's basically what the grunt is, but it is always there, and it's kind of like interesting why it's out there. Now, while we're out here, there are a few like interesting glitches during the cutscene. Namely, like there's these textures out here that are like really broken, as you can see. But when the rest of the map is loaded in, these are mostly fine, depending on what part of the mission you're at. But just a little cool thing I wanted to show you guys, in addition to the little secret grunt. But yeah, so that wraps up for this video. That is a little secret grunt hidden outside Cairo Station during the intro cutscene. And it is pretty much just a little oversight by Bungie, but it's pretty interesting that it's out there nonetheless. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like if you did, leave thoughts and comments, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!